because IQ is largely genetic and because it is closely tied to violent crime, mandating the sterilization of those with IQs under 93 would likely drop violent crimes to 10% of current rate no more than 2 generations from now.
It's like the fourth crusade all over again.
Dude,
Rome
Tabby
wins.
never drops the ball, man. Like he never misses that kid. He is just so
Funny
good.
is, so he sends it to me late last night. He's like, I really don't have anything for tomorrow, but I made this a couple days ago, and maybe you guys can use it. I'm like, you made the most genius thing a couple days ago just for fun, and like
that kid does not miss. He's amazing. I actually gave him a homework assignment. I posted the clip of the Simpsons clip of the Protestant heaven and Catholic heaven. And I said, I know it's a cartoon, but if you could somehow get Charlie Kirk in Catholic heaven, do you have any idea?
Bro, I think
Dude, the Protestants are losing their mind over Candace saying that Charlie was praying the rosary.
I think it might be a little too soon to play jokes with that.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's poor taste. All right, we'll give it a little bit. But
give it
I mean, we all know Charlie Kirk was praying the rosary. I mean, it's a wrap. He was Catholic. And if he wasn't Catholic before, he is now.
He is now.
He is now. So I don't know. I'm calling it a win. Yeah, we've had some interesting side conversations, you and I. I'm watching the fiasco caused by Candace, right?
She's good at that.
Man, dude, she had 258,000 live viewers on YouTube before. Like, what do we have? 200?
If we're lucky. Like, it's been rough lately.
230 live viewers, and she has 258,000 live viewers. Man, that girl. It's such an interesting well, okay, so Mr. C says it's too soon for Candace to talk about it at all. I don't know, man. When something's close to your heart like this, because she was friends with Charlie, and there's some mystery surrounding some of the circumstances. Like, I don't know how. I mean, especially her. She doesn't know how to not. You know, it's. I just don't think she. I don't think she could.
There's stereotypes there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's funny because my wife doesn't watch podcasts and stuff.
Adrian, you sure it wasn't more like 240,000-ish?
Oh boy, I'm making those jokes already. My wife doesn't watch like podcasts and stuff, and I come home yesterday and she's got Candace on it. She's watching Candace, and it's like, all right, she's not watching Lila. It's a win, right? So my wife's.
I mean, her not watching Lila is a win.
Stop. Yes, that's what I said.
Her watching Candace is maybe not a win.
No, Stop. I think you and I are going to. I think you and I are going to have a different perspective on this. So, man, because my wife's an artist and she mainly sees like what artists are posting on their Instagram and stuff, right? And she's basically like, she's devastated about what happened to Charlie. And then she's like, I don't understand what's wrong with people. I'm seeing people on Instagram saying things like, why are people so focused on Charlie Kirk when children are dying in Gaza? And like that, like things like that. And I'm like, first off, like plenty of people are very focused on what's going on in Gaza. Like, I don't, this isn't, it's such a weird thing to say. It's like, well, because the guy was a very prominent figure, and the imagery that came from that event was so traumatic for the country, and that's why people are talking about it. Like the leftist mind is so bizarre, the way they justify things and try to whatever. So yeah. Well, she somehow figured out the passcode to get on. I don't know. I tried to lock her out, but
1, 2, 3, 4 wasn't that difficult.
No, it wasn't that tricky. So yeah, so she is interesting because she doesn't watch podcasts, right? But then every once in a while she'll just go on YouTube, and whatever comes on. And because like she subscribed to us, like they'll give her Catholic stuff, and then they'll give her Candace Owens, and she'll see like Candace and Milo on together, and then she'll see a Nick Fuentes clip, and she doesn't understand why like Milo and Nick don't like each other, and Candace and Nick don't like each other. She doesn't know anything that's going on, you know.
Well,
it's kind of
we
funny.
could just take this from a stereotype perspective with those three, and it explains it pretty well.
It's kind of stinks because I think, well, I don't think we'll have a shot at getting Milo now because he's going to go back on tour and he's going to do his college campus thing. But I think I would give, I think we would get a very good interview out of Milo. But I know, like the way the factions are divided right now, you do that and then you piss off these people, and then you do that. Like it's just so bizarre how people are so caught into their tribes that you can't just have an interesting conversation with somebody without it setting off a whole other brigade of people being furious that you talk to that person.
Yeah. Well, it would be nice to kind of talk to all of them as people not really involved with any of them.
Yeah. So, okay. So the Candace thing, okay. So you had messaged, how did this conversation start? Where it was like, do you want to
the nurse and doctor?
It started with the nurse and doctor thing, right? But then I sent you the let's play the clip I sent you of the newscaster. So okay, we're gonna give you guys a little context here. So Rob and I are in a group chat with a couple of guys, and I saw this clip and I said, I think this girl.
Well, you said I'm so jaded that.
Yeah, I said I'm so jaded that I think this girl is just being an opportunist, and that this isn't like an authentic thing. But I didn't tweet it because of the nurse thing. Like I'm like, oh man, I don't like women who are desperate for attention at all. Like it just, something about it just like infuriates me. So I
don't like women. Full stop.
Yes, but especially attention-seeking women, right? So when the nurse thing happened, I don't know. I saw that. So the nurse story is the nurse overheard a doctor say something about Charlie Kirk, like not caring about Charlie Kirk or something, and she went on her Facebook or whatever.
To be fair to her, it was in front of other doctors and a patient, and she reported it to management first.
Okay.
And then when they did nothing, then she went on
Facebook, right?
The Instagram that she also posts pictures of her in bikinis.
So when I saw that, I'm like, yeah, I hate the surgeon. The surgeon should be fired, but I hate this woman too. Like I wanted the surgeon fired for what he said, and I wanted her fired for public indecency. Like that was my mindset. I'm like, this thing looks like an OnlyFans ad. Like that's basically how it looked. And I was just disgusted. But it was so close to the incident that even you had to say something publicly. So I'm like, all right, that was a bad take. Like it's not, it's a bad take. Okay. So I had a bad take. So the next one that came into my head was this one. And I'm like, I better not tweet this. Let me send this to the group chat.
It's a good thing you didn't, because we were all like, don't be stupid.
So I'm like, let me send this to the group chat and test it out, right?
I need to make sure I don't get pushback.
Well, it's not just pushback. It's that because I still do think what I think about this, but is it too time sensitive where I shouldn't do it yet? And you made a really good point to me. So let's play the clip and we'll give context here.
Much for tuning into Marketplace today. So I want to talk about something for a minute, and it is heavy, so please bear with me. I want you to know that it's okay if you feel sadness. It's okay if you're grieving. 2 days ago, I lost a mentor, my first boss, the first person who made me believe in myself, that encouraged me to chase this dream that you're watching right now, Charlie Kirk. There's a lot going on in our world right now, in our country, but I want to say one thing. Lean on your neighbors. Speak up for what you believe in. I don't care what it is. I want to share with you one of my favorite sayings that Charlie would always tell us at the office. He would yell it from the mountaintops, so please listen. When conversations stop happening, when individuals become wordless, that's when violence begins. So if you do one thing today, make it be with passion.
Okay, I can't listen to
You guys get it, right? So local ABC affiliate anchor Benny Ray Harmony resigns after she was suspended for paying tribute to Charlie Kirk live on air. And then she puts out this statement. Many in the mainstream media have been fired or punished for mocking his assassination. I believe I am the first to be targeted for honoring him on air. My resignation is guided by values that are essential to who I am, which I refuse to set aside in order to keep a job. I choose my faith and love of country and always will. Unbelievable. You should be ashamed of yourselves, ABC.
Now, Adrian has a very important question for you.
Guys, stop. Stop. You're going to make me apologize. Stop it.
You haven't yet?
No, I haven't. But I do feel bad about that. So now, I said to Rob in the group chat, I said, I'm so jaded. I think this is self-serving. And like, she resigned. She wasn't fired. I don't even know if she was. I mean,
She was suspended.
She was suspended. And I'm like, I just think she's looking for a better job and just wants to make it all about herself. And Rob, what did you actually say back?
I said, so you said, I'm so jaded that I think she planned this to jumpstart her solo career. And I said, look, I get it. But ultimately, so what if she did? Let's use it to tear down a liberal broadcast channel. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good.
And so, like, I'm trying to work this whole situation out of what's happening around us, right? So, like, that is what gave me the idea for the show tonight. Like, because Rob made me think with that statement, right? Don't let perfect be the what is it? Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. So, because even if this woman was doing that for self-aggrandizement or to make, to jumpstart a solo career or for attention or anything, like, I might be right. I don't know. I was just guessing.
I think you probably are, but I don't care.
But don't miss the opportunity to take down these disgusting people who even suspended her for this, right?
Right. I mean, we have to prioritize the problems we have, right? And like, yeah, we can deal with, as you would put it, uppity broads at a later date. First, let's deal with the people that literally cheer when we get murdered.
So the thing is, like, I agree with that, but like, I'm not going to simp for Charlie here. Like, I'm not becoming a simp in honor of Charlie. I love Charlie, but I'm not. All right, so I'm still allowed to fight. I'm still
as long as
we fight gross women behavior and fight leftists at the same time, right? Like, I don't.
As long as we don't let things distract from like the opportunity that we have right now, and unfortunately, I think it's already happening, and we've probably already lost the momentum, and it's probably all screwed. And we might as well just take the black pill now because we're all.
Well, I do see the administration totally dropping the ball, right? Like, there was this feeling of momentum. Not just, it's such a weird way to say it, but there was a feeling of genuine hurt and anger, and people have kind of had it, right? And you're seeing the same old tropes that leftists would throw at us about like free speech and stuff like that. And I think people have gotten to a point where they're just like, we don't care about free speech right now. Like, you don't have the right to be a vile, disgusting human being.
And hold on. First off, I'm not sure what this is in regard to. Like, we haven't talked about any means that would be immoral yet. Yeah. We're not suggesting anything like that. I think we can still accomplish a lot, even if like the administration and like governmental structures aren't behind us. Honestly, just having the attitude of, sorry, we don't give an
Yeah.
F anymore. Like, you can't control us with these threats,
Yeah.
and we're going to use it right back against you in the public sphere. I think that could be enough to at least set back that movement for a while.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's interesting because for years we were in the other side of the like the pendulum, where it was they had this ability to get us canceled and to get us, get us banned from things, where there is a bit of momentum on our side right now, where if they do say some vile stuff, we can push back and maybe get some people to face some consequences, which I do think is a good thing. And then the broader question of Candace came up, because you're like, people going down the typical conspiracy lane are missing the forest for the trees. Like we should be focusing in on this leftist stuff, and we shouldn't be missing an opportunity here to actually get some stuff done.
Yeah.
To then go down the conspiracy rabbit hole, right?
Well, so for me, like, the most telling thing of what we saw last week and this weekend and stuff, I mean, obviously the murder of Charlie itself, like, yes, whoever was involved with that, whoever they may be, whether it's just this one kid, a network of like-minded people like him, or the Israeli government, whoever is involved with that, yes, we do need to bring them to justice. But the larger issue at hand, at least in my opinion, was how half the country reacted, right? And that shouldn't have surprised anyone. I think even if you intellectually recognize that was the case, it is different than seeing it, right? And hearing it and stuff like that. But I think that's the larger issue. That's the more pressing issue. And we do need to deal with that. I think that's the real problem, is that that half the country wants the other half of the country dead, and
Yeah,
they cheer it on.
and they really do.
They do.
So all right, so the Candace thing, the problem is we'll see clips, and people will post clips, like a short 3-minute segment of something she said, and they'll frame it the way they want. And you think that what Candace is saying is the Jews are behind this, and that's not actually what she's saying. She's pointing out like how shameless Bibi Netanyahu was to go on TV the day of or the next day, and instead of just saying something nice about Charlie Kirk, he's like, Charlie Kirk was a big supporter of Israel, and just started to start like framing the whole thing around Israel, like they did that, and
Right.
There were some things that we were starting to see in Charlie Kirk where he was starting to just like have, like, he refused to take Tucker Carlson off of his tour there, and he was starting to have the conversation around this question and saying, like, if you guys don't allow any conversation at all to happen or criticism of the Israeli government whatsoever, you're going to start building actual anti-Semitism. They were furious that he was taking this position. So Candace kind of just went through this whole thing outlining how that position changed. At no time did she say they were behind what happened the other day. But that does lead to like really weird events that did occur around that day. One of them is that, like, Bill Ackman offers $1 million reward to the person who helps find the killer, and that turns out to be the killer's dad, who's a Mormon, and he gets $1 million reward now for turning in his gay son.
No, he's giving it to the Kirk family.
Okay, yeah, yeah, but okay, so that's good. There's still like a lot of weird stuff, and when I was talking about this the other day, it's not like at any point I thought Israel hired an agent to go and do this. It's more like what we saw with like the Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping. You remember the Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping, where it was like,
yeah, that was entrapment by the federal government.
Yeah, it was like entrapment, right? Now, what we've been talking about, these different cells, even from the kid out in Minneapolis, right? Like he was part of these weird groups and stuff.
And yeah, it is the same groups.
The same groups, right?
Yeah.
There's not an ounce of me that doubts that we have intelligence assets inside of these groups.
The
And
question
I
is,
don't
are they there spying on them or pushing them on,
or
or
pushing them
probably
on,
both?
right? And I think it's both, right? I think some of it is spying and they're probably preventing some things, but
Mhm.
then I guarantee in other cases they're provoking stuff to get their political ends, right? So that doesn't mean that somebody is directly hired by this person or somebody is an agent of this person. It means that there's people in these groups who are acting like they're part of the group who are actually antagonizing things, or oh wait,
Of
you know, we
course, and
scoped this place out and you probably have a good shot from this area, right?
in these groups are you know ideological children of the groups that the KGB supported. So in like it's been well known that the Russian FSB has kept in contact with some of them. So you probably have Russian agents in there, and I'm not saying they're
Behind
doing
this or anything. Yeah.
right, but then you have American counterintelligence and probably British counterintelligence, and like all intelligence agencies all across the world from every country have their own agendas,
Mhm.
and they're often more in line with each other's than they are with their respective nations. So who
So
knows?
but what you get into with this, so like people will talk about like MK Ultra and they think that the government's like putting LSD in people's things to mind control them. Like we're at a point now where you don't need to do any of that kind of stuff, especially
Mhm.
when you're dealing with groups like these people on the left where they're already mentally unstable, right? It doesn't take much to provoke these people in, like you see them cheering for something like this. They're
Plus, the average drugs your average soccer mom takes in a day are way more powerful than the LSD they used in MK Ultra.
absolutely. So like these people are all on SSRIs, they're all eating cannabis now. They're all doing all these things. They're very
Yeah,
easy. It doesn't take LSD, it takes good propaganda. And they have perfected the art of propaganda. So like
not
I'm not,
even necessarily propaganda. I mean, yes, some obviously, but like pornography
yeah.
is. I
Oh,
mean,
for sure.
for instance, the weird guy that was yelling, yet that
Oh man.
they found child
It's not, yeah,
child porn on his phone,
on his phone.
and it's well known that these groups all they they peddle in child porn too.
Dude, we've been talking for a couple of years now about how artificial intelligence is going to do this and that the government's going to be able to know every single text message that goes out, and they've infiltrated every single, like there's not even, you can't even go on the Signal app without them tracking you, right? So I find it very hard to believe that these groups exist and that we don't have intel agencies inside of them knowing exactly what's going on. I find it very hard to believe that when they released those text messages from those two today, as if that wasn't just a way to cover for the boyfriend. Like it's just silly. But even the fact that some of the stuff's redacted and then other stuff's put in, there's no timestamps on anything. So to the larger question of, do I think Candace is helping the conversation? Yes, because I think it's good for, I know you may not agree with this, but I think that we're all thinking differently now than we would have when we just had like the three major news outlets giving us information, you know. But there's also an aspect of, so my wife was watching Candace and she's going through all this, and my wife's like, I don't understand if Israel is really this powerful, like why haven't they gotten Candace? And I said, okay, so here's the thing. Candace goes off so much on some of these things that it's easy for people to just go, Candace is a crazy conspiracy theorist.
Therefore, everyone who believes similar things is the same.
It's just a crazy conspiracy
Yeah.
theorist. Where what Charlie was doing was way more dangerous, because Charlie was just being rational and starting to like question things slightly. Like, and if he does start to come around on that question slowly and not down some crazy, oh my goodness, the USS Liberty thing, and it's more just like, hey, like, maybe we should ask this question. Charlie has millions of people watching him, and it's way more dangerous for somebody like that who everybody trusts, and it doesn't see him as a crazy conspiracy theorist. That's a way more dangerous person than Candace Owens is to them, because Candace, people, you see it all over Twitter. People are just like, Candace is crazy. She's a liar. She's this, she's that. Half the comments are people enraged that Candace had the audacity to say, Charlie, you're too smart to be Protestant. It's amazing how people like react to one little thing and miss the forest for the trees and clips when you're seeing everything in sound bites and clips nowadays. Like it's really an interesting time to be alive and to see these things, because I kind of went into this thinking that Candace wasn't helping the conversation, and then I listened to Candace's show and I was like, wow, like this is kind of like important what she's going through right now.
But will it actually allow for any action to be taken?
I don't know. Okay, so part of what I think we have to also be cautious of is, you know how like we're getting drummed up about left and right, and we're like, we have to do something about the left. We have to like, so much of this is just building tension between the left and right in our own country and causing
Yeah, but
more.
we can't live next to them.
I know. I'm not disagreeing with you. You know, I don't know what to do, but I do
I mean,
think
I agree. We shouldn't be driven blindly into what someone else wants, right?
and a left versus right dialectic.
We shouldn't be driven to another Iraq war with propaganda, for instance. You know, so we do have to be prudent and reasonable and things like that. But what really worries me, and we talked on this on an episode a year or two ago about 5th generation warfare, is that the whole idea behind 5th generation warfare, and that's basically information warfare, is to make it to where you can't believe anything. You don't believe anything, right? You don't know what to believe. The second you believe something, you suddenly find something that makes you not believe it, and now you're always going down a different rabbit hole.
The fog of war, right? Like you don't know,
Right.
dude. I'm very much in that place,
and because of that, you're afraid to act because you don't believe in what you even think you believe. You don't know what to believe, so you sit there and you don't act. You don't do anything. You don't unite with the people you should unite against. You don't fight against the people you should fight against. So they disarm society completely by just making it to where you don't know what to believe.
You don't know who to trust, right? You don't know
who
if
to
the person, you don't know if the person, like, even look at Trump throughout this whole thing. Man, I'm so infuriated with him right now. Like, he is such a narcissistic. I don't know, man. Like, this Charlie Kirk got him elected, and watching him just like say one or two quick statements about him and then just kind of move on. Like, at least JD Vance understands the gravity of the situation. JD Vance, I mean, you can have whatever opinions you want of JD Vance, but at least he understands the gravity of the situation, how attached to Charlie the American people were, and even if they weren't attached to him, how big of an event this was on the American psyche. So JD Vance got up and said some very powerful thing. I mean, he went up and said the Nicene Creed. Essentially, I never thought I'd hear the Vice President of the United States get up and say the Nicene Creed on air. It was.
I think we're seeing a Trump that was either way more affected by the assassination attempt than we thought, or is really just suffering from old age at this point. And I think from what everyone says that knew him and Charlie and their relationship, that he is probably just grieving, and maybe the only way he knows how. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, well, I don't know, man. I think I think the whole situation has been very reminiscent of like 9/11 almost, where you don't know when it's appropriate to stop talking about it, right? Like, I still remember after 9/11, you couldn't take your eyes off the TV, and I remember wondering 3 months on from, and I don't think this is that impactful, obviously, but 3 months on after 9/11, there wasn't a single day where every single New York newspaper didn't have a picture of Ground Zero on the front cover. And I remember thinking, like, is anything else ever going to be front page news? Like,
and you even saw that this year, 24 years later, there were some people who were upset that the anniversary of 9/11 were overshadowed by the assassination of Charlie.
Yeah. It's an interesting one, because 9/11 really is such an impactful event, and anybody over 35. How old are you?
I'm 36. So
Yeah, I would say
watched,
anybody over 34, 35. It was a very, very, very impactful.
like if you watched it in school, basically, and remember watching it in school, yeah, it impacted you for sure.
Yeah. So even this though, right? So who benefits, right? You like there also is a degree of which you can't just see see something that happened and find the evidence you want to find to make that the case. Right.
Yes.
So and there's so much of that going on through this fog of war, fifth generational warfare stuff too, where we all kind of have this preconceived idea of what happened before we even know what happened, and you don't have all the evidence out there. Like there's no conspiracy yet, Rob. You were saying this to me in the green room. There's no conspiracy yet because the government hasn't told us the story yet.
Right. You can't have a conspiracy theory if you haven't been provided yet with the full narrative you're supposed to believe. We don't even have that yet.
Yeah. So there's not even anything to pick apart and say they're lying to us about yet. We're just getting these bits and pieces of things. It does look like they're trying to make it seem that one man did this and one man was responsible. And I don't think anybody's buying that.
I don't. Who do you mean they? Like,
Well,
I don't think the FBI is
the indictment so far is just about the one guy. The news reports are being presented about these text messages trying to absolve the boyfriend. Even the way the news is presenting it, like, oh, it's so strange. Do we have that clip of that creepy news reporter? Do you think you can find that? This creepy news reporter presenting.
I know what you're talking about.
Presenting it. It's actually a tweet you responded to me. I tweeted it out and I said that anybody believes these text messages are real. And I don't think I tweeted it that long ago. So, like, I know I tweet a lot.
I got it.
Listen to how this news reporter is presenting this. This is obscene.
We have seen an alleged murder with such specific text messages about the alleged murder weapon, where it was hidden, how it was placed, what was on it, but also it was very touching in a way that I think many of us didn't expect. A very intimate portrait into this relationship between the suspect's roommate and the suspect himself, with him repeatedly calling his roommate, who was transitioning, calling him my love, and I want to protect you, my love. So it was this duality of someone who the attorney said not only jeopardized the life of Charlie Kirk and the crowd, but was doing it in front of children, which is one of the aggravating circumstances of this case. And on the other hand, he was, speaking so lovingly about his partner. So a very interesting and, as Pierre said, riveting press conference.
I think he's already writing a screenplay in his head.
That's what I mean.
Bonnie Clyde thing.
Is that not unbelievably creepy that he's even saying like it's the duality of man. In one moment he's murdering someone, and the next he's loving his partner. Like, ugh.
If you're a guy, a straight guy, a normal guy, your instant reaction was, he just called another dude my love.
What's that news article that came out? It's like when the reaction men have to seeing two men like heterosexual men, if they see two men kiss, it's the same as like seeing maggots or something. Yeah. Sarah Stock, I'm not a promoter of e-girls, but I did like this tweet of hers. She said, those messages between Robinson and the trans boyfriend seemed so fake. If someone close to me texted me that they assassinated a public figure, I wouldn't be like, why did you do it? I would assume it's some sick joke, and then I would spam call them until they picked up, right? So
Daffy says there's a clip in your DMs.
Oh boy. Let's see it.
Daffy, if it's the Simpsons one, we're not.
He did it. He did it. He did it with the Simpsons.
Hold on.
Hang on. Oh man, I gotta
send it to me. I'll watch it without putting on.
I don't know if I can send it. I'll just present it. Hang on.
No. I don't know if everyone should.
Why? What are you worried about?
It seems a little.
You think we'll do it on locals?
It seems a little insensitive.
Okay, we'll do it on locals. You guys are brain damaged over on locals anyway, so you guys won't judge us. All right, if you guys want to see it, it's on locals.
We don't need locked.
Everybody wants us to play it. No, you got it. You got to watch on locals. We got a couple things for locals too. I want to address somebody on locals that I can't. I'm not even going to hint at it over here because I don't want to start anything.
And it's not Michael Lofton, but
no, it's nobody. It's nobody like famous or anything. It's somebody you won't know. He's not famous. I mean, maybe a little famous. Yeah, well, as of recent, He was on that Jubilee thing. All right, never mind. We'll get wait, where was I? Oh, the Sarah Stock tweet is
Yeah.
like if somebody texted you, your loved one especially, right? Like if I texted my wife, read the note under the computer, I just killed someone. Like my wife would be frantically calling me.
Or
She'd
it'd be like,
what
note?
What kind of ridiculous
computer?
thing are you saying right now? There's
What
no
keyboard?
chance.
I don't see it under the keyboard. Are you sure you left it under the keyboard?
Yeah.
Like, that's what it would be.
Like there's no chance that you would react that way if somebody admitted to the craziest event happening in the media at that moment. And like the weird details he's describing about, oh, they have some other guy they're questioning, talking about the old man. It's like, was this guy like watching live as he was on the run and on the lam and stuff? It was just very bizarre.
Yeah, I mean,
look at you guys guessing.
like I said, we obviously, we don't. I don't think the FBI is the full story yet. So we sure as the heck don't have it. Will we ever have it? I don't know. But if I had to guess, like, yeah, there's a larger conspiracy here in the sense, like, other people knew, the so-called boyfriend, the different Discord groups, and like, yeah, there are people in those Discord groups that have connections to the State Department, to the UN, and like not like high up or anything, but yeah, I think we're gonna find out that there was a wider conspiracy.
There has to be.
At least people who talked about it, in theoretical sense and stuff like that.
And that's what because there was also all these other messages that we were seeing all over the place of people saying, look out for something happening on September 10th and all stuff like that. So like we know there was, right? Bobby says the note under the keyboard told him to follow the script to make him look innocent. That's a probable, yeah. The text messages read out, and Matt Walsh pointed this out. I don't want to steal it from him. He pointed out perfectly. It reads like Walter White trying to get Skylar off at the end of Breaking Bad by making it like she knew nothing about any of the stuff he was doing. So, Mrs. C, I pay for locals just to get the tea. Yeah, I tried to give some elder brother advice, and I don't know if he took it. I don't know. I won't say it on here though. I'm not trying to cause drama. It's just, you guys are fine. People actually get very upset when we put like chats up on screen and don't read them because they're driving and listening to the show, or they're doing the audio only thing. So somebody just making fun of me saying Abadi is trying to use his fiducia supplicans glasses to read the texts. Never used locals before. You guys don't know what you're missing over there. And I think actually, we're going to start shortening the YouTube show to like 45 minutes and giving an hour and 15 over to locals. We're also going to be bringing on guests for the advice show. So I'm going to have Joshua Charles come on one episode. We're going to have Brian Holdsworth come on for an episode. We're going to have Michael Hitchborn come on for an episode. We're going to get different people to come on. Hopefully some of the people that we have come on will be more theologically sound than Rob and I. So that if you need advice, if you need like family advice, Rob and I can help. But if you have something on a theology question or a question about the fathers, we'll have a Holdsworth or a Joshua Charles there to give you guys a little more depth. It'll be like Trad Answers Live instead of Catholic Answers Live. We're not stealing it, guys. I promise. They steal enough from us.
Tit for tat, guys.
Yes, you guys all steal enough from us. So yeah, that's what we're thinking of doing with locals. We're gonna try different things.
We had the only Catholic gun show for a good 4 weeks.
There might be some other news we could reveal on the other side. I don't know if we should yet. I don't know if we should yet. Yeah, no, not yet. Soon we'll have some inside info for you guys over there. But Anthony,
hold on. Let me see if that website's back up.
Do you read the books behind you actually?
The Harry Potter ones, yes.
I don't have Harry Potter behind me. There are many that I have read behind me, but there are also a lot of books that Steve Cunningham sends me like daily. And no, I can't read them all. But I am waiting for a time when I just have some time to read, and I'm going to read also the young Protestant boy Dominic, who who came to mass with me once, and then I was sick this past weekend, so I couldn't bring him again. I'm going to bring a book or two. I'm going to see what good book to bring him and let him have.
The
What do you
Catholic
think I should?
Controversy
What do you think I should get? Catholic Controversy?
by Francis de Sale.
That's a rough one for a newbie.
Okay, but because he wrote them as little pamphlets, right? That he would
Yeah.
drop around Geneva, and then he converted 80,000 Calvinists back to the faith, and they later collected it into a big book. But the kid seems smart.
Yeah, he does. I'll tell you that. I would love to get Maudsley back on and get his opinion on current events also. So
Mrs. C said I should bring. Where was it? So many comments.
I know we're kind of going off on tangents right now. We will get back to like Pam Bondi. Oh, you want to talk about how the right is going to butcher this whole opportunity before them? Like Pam Bondi today. Just look at how dumb these people are. Like, these are the people we voted in because we thought we were going to have some.
Well, no one voted
movement.
for Pam Bondi.
No, but we voted for the man who put her in position. And
Unfortunately,
this is what this is the best the right has to offer. When something like this happens, they act like leftists. Like the absurdity of this. Go ahead. What are you waiting for? Making me look stupid.
There's free speech and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie in our society.
Do you see more law enforcement going after these groups who are using hate speech and putting cuffs on people so we show them that some action is better than no action?
We will absolutely target you, go after you if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle.
How does
There's free
Barbie
speech,
get
and then
into
there's
the
hate
attorney
speech.
general's
And
office?
there is no place.
I don't know.
Like, this woman is very dim-witted. Like, all the conservative women that she is just a moron. She's talking about hate speech. Seriously, there's no such thing as hate speech. It is a leftist term they made up to accuse us of anytime we're being mean, we're breaking the law.
Mm-hmm.
She also said today that if you go to like I don't remember what store she brought up, but like if you want to have a printout of Charlie Kirk's face brought up and they won't
Office
print it for
Depot.
you, Office Depot, and they won't print out Charlie Kirk for you, we're going to come after you. And it's like, didn't we just go through this with the cake thing?
Well, 10 years ago, but yeah.
Where the bakery owner didn't want to put a message that they didn't want to put a gay wedding. They didn't want to make a gay wedding cake. Like, we'll make you a wedding cake. We're not making a gay wedding cake, though. We'll serve gay people. We're not saying we won't serve gay people, but we're not going to put a message onto something that we don't agree with. So, I mean, we've gone through this, went through the Supreme Court, didn't it? Yeah, it went through the Supreme Court, and the bakery won. So, like, we're now going to relitigate leftist causes from our perspective. It's just,
I think they're going to say that's true because of the Office Depot thing. It really is the same.
It's the same thing.
situation.
We don't want to print a message. And they should have that right. Go to a different place.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean they won't serve you to print a different message. So it's not like discrimination against you. It's you can't force me to print a message that I don't agree with. There's plenty of other bakeries out there that'll bake your gay wedding cake. Like, you can't force a Christian baker to put that message on. It's just, so you can't change the rules. That's the other thing, right? I'm very worried that this administration is going to enact laws and things that leftists actually want and make it look good. And then when they get back in power, they're going, it's the same thing with the Patriot Act. Like, those are real things to worry about. So we have to be very careful about how we go about
administration's not doing anything.
They're not doing anything, right? But like, I am for laws against certain speech. Like, like there should be obscenity laws. There should,
Blasphemy
like, I'm
laws.
okay with obscenity laws. I'm okay. There should be things enacted that degrade the culture, right? Not things that, not hate speech. You can't go with hate speech. There has to be like something. If something degrades the culture, there can be laws enacted against it. Like, I'm not like a free speech absolutist. I think free speech should absolutely have limits, and anybody that's Catholic should think that. There's no, we don't believe in free speech as a principle.
Free speech is an error for sure.
So yes, there should be laws against it. Like, there should be blasphemy laws. Like, I'm okay with putting laws. Yeah, somebody said that, anti-blasphemy laws. Like, I'm okay with putting laws into place. Like, if we're not conserving Christian culture, I don't know what conservatives are doing at all, because that's the whole point. Like, what is a conservative at this point? It's not,
I
it's
mean,
like
we haven't had real conservatives in this country for 200 years. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, do I believe in Valhalla? I'm not a Pajit. I don't believe in Valhalla. As a Catholic, yeah. So you got to check out the Monday night show. The Second Amendment absolute is yes. I should be able to own nuclear weapons. Jake, I'm very glad to see you in our chat the last couple of episodes, Jake, because I'm in your chat all the time for your show, and it's nice to see you come back and show some love. Tim Gordon says these rules require a state defendant. Private enterprise is not bound to employ losers in perpetuity. They get fired for the same reason. We are not compelled to shop there. Yeah, Tim's the law student. I would trust him. Oh, my brother Joey's in the chat. Bring back the old Babylon, where you brought on guests and talk about the faith. Now it's like a news podcast, like everybody else. I think a Francis Synod talks more about Jesus than Ann does.
Brutal.
Joey, you're on my crew tomorrow, Joey. I don't think you're gonna like how I handle this comment in the morning. My brother Joey's on my crew tomorrow. I will be punishing him. How are you gonna say that to your brother? Text me that, you jerk. What's the matter with you? This kid, wise ass. My little brother. Kid brother. Yeah, I don't yeah, well, in regards to that, Joe, there's only so many discussions on like theology you could have, so we switch it up. We'll have some guests on soon that we'll get back into that, but this is such a big
noticed
event.
he wasn't in the chat when we had Charles Franny on to talk about the Saints. So
yeah, it is kind of funny. You want to talk Joey Fredo Abadi? Listen, I'm gonna take my brother Joey out on a little fishing trip this weekend. We'll see.
I didn't see him in the chat when Joshua Charles was on to talk about the overthrow of Christ's earthly kingdom.
Yeah.
Or when Dr. Marshall was on to talk about Christian patriotism. It's almost like the news shows are what actually gets people to watch, unfortunately.
My brother Joey does not pay for locals as much.
I know, we gave it to him for free.
Asking us for a handout. Coach P. You guys better chill. Everybody's coming down on us now. Coach P, Joey hit the mark. Don't ask Joey about my job. All right, so we're gonna head over to locals now. We're gonna talk about the faith. you guys want the theology show? We're gonna do it over there. Now we do have some things to discuss over there. We'll keep this one short. Don't worry. If I'm not, you guys, we're the only Catholic content show out there that George Farmer hasn't befriended. I'm a little upset about this. So we're being nice to Candace now, but if George keeps this up, it's not going to go that way forever. So, no, we're going to head over to locals, guys. And we got some stuff to talk about over there. We're going to Pine Sap a little bit. I said it already. I mean, I kind of blew the spot. We're going to talk about it. We're going to go do the tea over there. Right, Mrs. C? All right.
I'm cutting them all now.
you got to get another like exit